Well, hello, everybody. It is Super Bowl week. In case you didn't know, if you were living in a rock somewhere, but I am excited about that. Holiday season actually isn't over for me yet. It's still at the Super Bowl this Sunday. After Sunday, then the holiday season will be over for me. Hope you guys are excited about it too. I went with the underdog, you guys. I'm rolling with the Patriots. They're 4.5 point underdogs. I went with them. We'll see what happens, right? Hopefully, my Raiders will get their butts in gear, do well in the trading and the draft, and will be competitive the next year. Anywho, you guys have a great Super Bowl weekend, but I'm just fired up this week, and I've been having some great conversations with our brokers. And one of the topics that keeps coming up that I wanted to share with you guys about is, of course, on the marketing end of things. I would say that top of mind for almost everybody, whether or not you're in business for several years in this industry, multiple decades, or even if you're just getting started, everybody would love to find another good source of leads. Does that apply to you? Another good source of leads. But it's got to work, it's got to be reliable, it's got to be doable. And of course, it's got to be affordable. By the way, I just put out an article, just some reference material called 10 Ways to Generate Leads. They are proven practical methods in this industry by which you can go out there and market and generate good leads. But I must warn you, there's nothing magical or secretive about it. They're just solid fundamental things, but it's precisely explained so that you can wrap your mind around several different options and really give it some thought as to which of these methods can I see myself winning. That's really what we want to do, is find the right marketing method for you and then get going, right? We can't keep spending all of our time wandering, hoping, searching, trying to find the right thing. We've got to commit, right? A lot of times people make this mistake. Their dominant thought is, what's the best one? Which marketing method will work? If you find your brain going into that loop where that becomes your prominent thought and question, catch yourself and switch the question into, which marketing method am I willing to commit to? That's the key, because here's what we know about marketing today. Consistency trumps perfection every single time. The biggest problem in business in America, and it's not just us, it's everybody, is the gap between idea and action. That's where money is lost right now in the marketplace, because we are riddled and overwhelmed with information and distractions, and we get stuck on this idea platform. And of course, we don't make money on the ideas we acquire. We make money on the ideas that we can execute. Very much like an exercise program, you guys. What's the right exercise program? It's the one that you will commit to. You guys, the same is true in marketing. Now, here's the thing. Of course, at the same time, we don't want to be blind. We want to find a marketing method that's in your strike zone, a marketing method that's aligned with your strengths, right? That you've got the appropriate amount of time and effort you're willing to put into it. And then, of course, also fits your budget. And then one last final thing, just make sure your mind is right when it comes to the relationship between capital and effort, the money and the cost to do the marketing and the effort. There's a relationship, is there not? The more money you throw at a marketing method, the less effort you have to bring to the table, right? Which is no shocker. One of the reasons why some of the most popular marketing methods in our industry just require the spend and not a whole lot of effort, because nobody wants to expend effort and not get a return these days, right? We see that psychologically as failure, but we want to find the right balance and be realistic with ourselves and not stop BSing ourselves about this relationship between money and effort. It's got to be aligned. So if you want to find a way that's going to reserve some of your cash flow and still produce good quality leads, the reality of it is the effort level has got to come up a little bit. But we certainly, with today's resources and your talent and the ingenuity that we can bring to the table, we could find strategies that are in that sweet spot within our budget, within our time, effort continuum, so to speak, and we can win. With all that being said, I will share with you one of the most common ways when I ask brokers, are there any other methods of marketing that you're considering for 2026? And I would say the number one way that people are coming up with is, Jon, I really like to get going in my local market. I think I could do some local networking, right? I've got a great community. And look, my cash flow for marketing spend it's there, but it's got its limitations, which is true for vast majority of small business owners. But you know what? I'm great at communicating with people. I'm a rapport builder. I really think I have an opportunity to work my local network. That is fantastic, and that's what we're going to talk about. But we got to get focused, you guys. Again, we got to shrink the gap between the idea and the execution. With a lot of people, they've been talking about this idea of working their local network now for several months, but yet the execution's not much different, right? So let's think about this. Let's drill down. And how do we shrink the gap between idea and execution? We do it with clarity. We do it with direction. We do it with focus. We do it with a more precise plan. A plan that's so precise and focused that we feel like we're compelled to take action on it because it's just right there in front of us, right? Zig Ziglar used to ask people, are you a wandering generality or a meaningful specific? Let's just get real clear, right? When it comes to making local networking, so if that's something you want to focus on, if you don't want to focus on local networking, then turn this off. But if this is something you think you might want to work on and build a plan, this is going to be for you. When it comes to making local networking a real opportunity, we've got to get things on your calendar. We've got to get things on your calendar, right? If you've said to yourself, you know what, I really want to start working my local network more. If you've said that to yourself, great. Go to your calendar right now and tell me what's there. Does your calendar reflect the fact that you are committed to working your local network? The reality of it is the vast majority of us have some catching up to do. We've got a gap to shrink when it comes to working the local network and then actually getting some precise events on the calendar with purpose. So with all that going, let's get purposeful. Let's get stuff on your calendar. It's very simple, but you guys, we got to get things on the calendar. And by the way, we could use artificial intelligence and technology, not to just replace human connection, but if we're smart in our line of work, utilizing modern technology to create more interpersonal communication, because that's where you guys thrive. So number one, something you could do right now, go to a website, eventbrite.com, eventbrite.com, just like it sounds. Search business conferences and mixers in your town. Pick the ones that you are willing to attend and put them on your calendar. It's that simple. That's a great way to start. Eventbrite.com. That's one major platform with all kinds of events that you could attend, and the vast majority of them are free. Get a couple things on your calendar from Eventbrite. Start tonight. Next, Chamber of Commerce in your local town. Same darn thing. Go to the Chamber of Commerce in your town. Look up the events. Look up the mixers. If you're not a member, a mixer is usually where they allow the entire public to come in and feel things out. So type the word mixer, your local Chamber of Commerce. See if there's an opportunity for something you could attend with your local chamber. Get it on your calendar. All of a sudden, we got stuff on our calendar. Another one, meetup.com. I want you to go to meetup.com and do the same thing. Go into the search, type in the topics and the types of groups that you want to engage in, and put some meetups on your calendar. Now, here's the thing about meetup.com. Meetup.com has events that will be showcased there, but it's also got all these small little groups of people with very specialized interests that get together on a weekly or probably more monthly basis, I think is probably more common, with people who have really precise interests, right? Everything from people who like to meditate, right? People who are into yoga, people who are Raider fans. You get the idea. And of course, there's also all different types of business groups and investor people that get together with those commonalities. So look for those things. Go to meetup.com, type in small business owners, see what comes up. Type in entrepreneurs, see what comes up. Type in business development, sales and leadership, and see what groups strike a chord with you. You can see who is managing the group. You can see how many people are attending the group. You can see where physically these people meet. And again, find some things that you'd like to go try and then put it on your calendar and show up. What we're trying to do, you guys, is build your calendar. Let that calendar boss you around, right? What do we do with clients? We contact a client and we get them on a calendar for the next step because that's the priority, because that's what drives our business. Well, prospecting is the same thing. An opportunity for you to go out there to prospect and make new connections, to build your referral base, that deserves to be on your calendar as well. Isn't that interesting what we put on our calendar and what we don't, right? Give that some thought. We're going to go do these specific things. We're going to drill down. We're going to put things on our calendar that we're going to select, and then we're going to go execute, right? It's that simple, right? So also, as you explore a little bit with meetup.com, you might want to consider starting your own meetup.com group in your local area. Man, think of this. I just thought of this other day. Rick Hahn, one of our great brokers here, brought on a Millie's ice cream franchise recently, and it's in his area. He could go to Millie's and say, hey, find a time, maybe carve out a time where he could host a little meetup group at Millie's ice cream franchise, a place that he just helped get somebody started. What a great thing. What about Ziggy's Coffees? What about some of these wine bars, some of these food and beverage partners that we have in our network here at BAI? Contact them locally and see if they'll be open to giving you a couple hours once a month on a Saturday or a Sunday or an evening after hours or maybe during hours where you say, hey, I want to bring in some business people to do some network. Can I use your place to do that? Can we make this a win-win? I promise you, they will probably love to have that conversation with you. But be creative. Get some commitments. And here's what happens when you start, because I've done this, when you start your own meetup group, you put yourself out there, you make yourself accountable. You're the host. And now all of a sudden you follow through, you prepare, you try to get people there. And it becomes a responsibility that you start to take on. And then after a while, it becomes a habit. And now you got this winning habit. You got this networking vehicle that you can leverage to grow your business and, of course, help other people as well. Give that some thought if you want to take your networking to the next level. Another one is a BNI chapter, right? The BNI chapters, we've got incredible information here and best practices here at BAI. You can access on Franlick and know exactly how to execute BNI, but you guys do it. Go look up a couple BNI chapters, contact the person who's running the chapter, see if there's a franchise consultant because they have exclusivity. There probably is, which is awesome about franchise consulting. There's not a ton of us out there. There's probably an open opportunity for a franchise consultant or a business broker. You could fill that spot or go visit and see if you like the group first. They usually meet from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning, breakfast meetings, 7 o'clock in the morning. If you like that idea, if that's something you want to commit to turn these local professionals into your referral team, a great thing to do. But again, what do you got to do? Yeah, you got to put it on your calendar. Why not have every Tuesday, 7 o'clock in the morning, you're going to get up and you go network with some professionals. What a great way to start every Tuesday morning. Perhaps that's something to consider and take action on right now. And of course, when you do these things, be prepared with your communication strategy. Be prepared with your referral incentive program. If you need help with some of these things, give me a call. I'm here to help you. We'll come up with that, how you want to approach that. And by the way, how many people know about your referral program and incentive plan for those who refer you somebody who becomes a franchisee. How many people right now know that you've got such a program in place? One, two, three, four, whatever the number is, I don't know. But what if we take that number from several to several hundred? What might that look like? How might that change your business, change your income? I don't know about you, but I've always had this dream of going to the Super Bowl one day. And I'll tell you what, I was looking at the Super Bowl, I was looking at the price of tickets. And man, if I want to get my butt to a Super Bowl, I got some work to do because these things are 20 grand a piece, right? And I think I might have to go to the Super Bowl by myself, but you get my drift. These days, the cost of things are rising, and I don't want to settle and lower my standards of quality of life. So you guys are probably in the same boat. We might have to pick it up a notch, you guys, and get out there and get aggressive. Someone once told me, if you're in sales and you're not aggressive, you're going to have skinny kids. So that's for sure. And you're certainly not going to be able to avoid Super Bowl tickets. Now, so those are just some simple things, you guys. Those are things you all know about. I know you know about that. But again, it's not about keep finding the magical bullet. It's about taking the idea and getting into execution. Getting into execution, that's where we earn, that's where we learn, that's where the growth is, by getting engaged in the marketplace, by doing these simple little processes and getting things on your calendar. It's going to get you moving. And then once you're moving, once you're engaged, then we can make your strategic adaptations to make the systems and the processes even better. But a lot of us are just sitting there at the starting block waiting for some big aha moment. It's not happening. We got to go create it, you guys. All right. Now, getting a little bit more focused, here's another one. It's called REIA. They call it REIA. A REIA group stands for Real Estate Investors Association, and it is massive. Over the last 20 years, it has been my favorite and most productive networking environment I've ever been involved in. Other people, of course, have different scenarios, but of course, it depends upon where you are as well. If you're definitely in a growth market, like where I live in Las Vegas or like a Pittsburgh and those kinds of areas, suburban areas that are really booming and growth oriented, it could be a phenomenal place to network. They have local, regional, national chapters. Guys, they are engaged. And just like our industry, the real estate investing world is built on collaboration, just like franchising. So they network like crazy and they love it. They like it. They don't see networking as this pain in the butt that they have to do. They see networking as something they enjoy doing. They see it as a driver for their business. And by the way, that's how we should look at it as well. So you're going to find there's a lot of great engagement. And people love to talk about real estate, you guys. They do. Just like they love to talk about business ideas and franchises opportunities and all these kinds of things. People love to talk about real estate and real estate deals. So it's just a great networking environment. These RIAs are all kinds of people within the real estate world. We got wealthy, just investor types that are just looking, literally people that are just looking for something to do with their money. They're not real happy with the interest rates they're getting back on their money, and they're looking for something else to do with their money. There's people that are just literally there looking for what to do with hundreds of thousands of dollars at these events. There's top real estate agents and brokers. There's people in lending and hard money lenders. There's property management people, title company people, contractors of all different types, marketing experts. It's a very entrepreneurial group. Now, here's the thing. Here at BAI, we happen to have some great brands that fit into this space that this audience might want to listen to and learn about, right? Here at BAI, we've got fix and flip and fix and rent brands like Homevestors, right? We've got some home inspector brands like Housemaster and Pillar to Post. Of course, there's other ones that I'm not mentioning. On the property management side, we've got True Nest. We've got the Real Property Management, a neighborly company. These are great companies, you guys. They've got great systems in place, and they're quite affordable and pretty easy entry, all things considered, when it comes to franchising. And then we've got a new one we just brought on board, more of an affiliate business opportunity scenario with real estate sales. Easy entry, you guys, at only $25,000. And by the way, you guys, it's always good to have some brands, to have some things that are a little bit lower on the price point, that have faster sales cycles that you can go in there. A hunter doesn't always want to go out there and just come back with big elk and elephants. It's good to sometimes to come back with just a big old string of trout too sometimes. That helps build cash flow and confidence, right? So it's great to have opportunities like this. Low entry, $25,000 in the real estate investing space. I know the people at RIA would love to learn about this franchise opportunity. Particularly, they got this awesome tool. It's a proprietary, their own software system. They're providing their members with actual leads that come from their software called Flip Cheap Houses. I guarantee you that people at RIA will all be interested in learning about this software and flipping cheap houses and how they go about it, and how this franchise system might help them get more systematical in their real estate investing endeavors. I'll promise you that. A franchise system, you guys, remember, a franchise system brings consistency to a lot of people who are already familiar with industries, right? We bring structure, right? We bring scalability, right? Let's face it, in the real estate game, very much like ours in a lot of ways, in the real estate game, a lot of people are excited about the incredible opportunities and it's what they're passionate about, but they find themselves just chasing the next big deal. And it's a little bit of a roller coaster, right? And they really lack the systematical approach, the structured approach. They lack the consistency and the consistent anticipated income. Sound a little familiar? We're in that boat, right? So people in the real estate world find themselves in that roller coaster a little bit. They'd love to build and get access to some systematical approach where they could feed their business more consistently and really win and win big and live the life that they have imagined and deserve. So by bringing our franchise brands, and this is exactly what our franchise brand partners provide, right? Systems, structure, the ability to achieve anticipated income. And that obviously takes people to the whole next level when they're able to do that. Guys, we are not short on ideas and resources. Our shortfall is only execution. That's how you want to look at it. Of course, if we want to look for verifiable, viable, reasonable excuses, circumstances, and scenarios that might prevent us from achieving what we might want to, will we find those things? Absolutely. But those thought processes and that information gathering does not help us one bit. What helps us and what the winners are doing today in business is they have the ability to take a lot of the same ideas that everybody has, but they execute. They realize that waiting for perfection, right, is fatal in getting moving in today's marketplace, and then adapting on the run is the new skill set for the new millennium. If you want to work your local market, you guys, and if you're willing to get out there, meet some people, experience a little bit of rejection, but have some fun, tell your story, be an advocate for the franchising world, tell all the stories and the things you're learning about the franchising world here at BAI and all the things and the people we get to meet here. Go out there and tell those stories to your community. Educate them and invite them. Educate them and invite them. Invite them to a webinar. Invite them to coffee. Invite them to an introductory call. Invite them to explore franchise opportunities with you that are aligned with their passions and their skills. What if we had those conversations on a daily basis or on a frequent basis out in our community with passion and confidence? Might that improve our position currently in business? I think it would. We just got to get disciplined so that we're executing more consistently. We all know when you are in front of people communicating, listening, learning, and sharing and inviting, that's when the magic happens. All good things happen. Finish with a quote. Maybe you've heard this before, but I think it's a good one. You don't have to be great to start, but you've got to start to be great. You guys, full pipelines and full hearts. Make it a must that your pipeline is full, because when your pipeline is full with good quality candidates, in business is a blast and it's extremely rewarding. Conversely, when it's not full, it's a little frustrating, right? And we really don't come with that full heart. We start to get in our heads and we start to back up a little bit, right? We want to be on offense, you guys, right? The best defense is a great offense. We want to get out there and engage, have fun, impact people's lives, do what you do. Guys, those are some specific things I wanted to get in your brain if you want to work your local market and get out there and start networking more. If you want to get more specific with me and come up with some other strategies and scripts and ways of communicating and ways to maximize your networking efforts, let me know what I can do to help. Take care. Have a great week, everybody.